Okay, if you're listening to this, then I'm not in school because I'm sick or away somewhere. This is going to be a tutorial in how to draw a human face. Now, this line down the middle here is the line of symmetry. I would like you on your paper to draw a line which is going to be 20 centimeters long. I'm going to turn off that function there and erase this. The reason we're going to do it 20 centimeters is it just makes it easier to divide it up. We're going to assume that this is like 20 centimeters. What you then need to do is to half it. So this is going to be 10 centimeters down. That's going to be where the eyebrows are. Halfway down again, so it's going to be 5 centimeters. It's going to be where the nose is, and halfway down again, 2 centimeters, 2.5 centimeters. That's going to be the bottom of the bottom lip. I'm just going to write those in so that we know what these things are. So we've got the chin down at the bottom of the bottom lip, the nose is going to be there, the eyebrows, and then the top of the head is going to be up there. Now, it's important to understand this one because we don't want any part of the mouth to be below this line. Okay. Now, we'll just switch back on the symmetry function and erase these bits and pieces here so that we can actually draw the face in. Goodbye. Those lines. Okay, so this is how you want to be set up in stage 1. Okay, line of symmetry down the middle, 20 centimeters long. Halfway at 10 centimeters, you want to have the eyebrow line halfway again at 5 centimeters and halfway again at 2.5 centimeters. Okay, so you can kind of press pause on this and give yourself a couple of minutes just to draw that in. Okay, every human face is different, and if you look around the room, then you can see that everyone has a slightly different face, but you all have the same underlying structure to the face, and if we can learn how to draw that, then it's going to make drawing a human face much easier for you. The first part that we start to draw is the nose, which is right in the middle of the face. We start with the distance between the bottom of the bottom lip to the nose gives you the width of the nose. And you can actually kind of try this just by measuring with your pencil from the bottom of your bottom lip to the nose and then turning it sideways, and you can see it gives you the width of the nose. That means that the width of your nose will be 2.5 centimeters in total, 2.5 centimeters. So you want to make it like 1.25 on each side of that line of symmetry. So off you go and do that. Moving on, you are then going to create a little curve here, and almost like a little kind of smiley face, and that's going to be the beginning of the nose. Then we've got the side of the nose that comes down and goes underneath that line, and then this line curls in to give us the nostrils. Okay, next on the face, and you can kind of check this as well. If you put your finger to the side of your nose and just take it up the side of your face, then you'll find that it lines up with the beginning of the eye. So this line coming up the side here is not the side of the nose, it's just to kind of give us the indication of where the eye will start. If this line here, which is in the middle, is going to be the eyebrow line, then the eyes have got to be underneath it. This is 1¼ centimeters out from the line of symmetry. If you bring that same measurement down so that you've got a kind of a square either side of the line of symmetry here, this is the starting point of the eye on both sides. Now, the eye is the width of the nose. So if we take this line across, and the width of the nose, which for you guys will be 2½ centimeters out, will give you the width of the nose there. I'll give you the width of the eye. Now the eyes are kind of tricky, and I'm going to just kind of draw it separately down here so that you can see a little bit more clearly. If we've got the eye line there, and there's the starting point of the eye, and there's the end of it. If we split that roughly into thirds, and here we've got the eyebrow line above it, and there's the little square that kind of like forms it to the line of symmetry. We go halfway up on the first third, and just quarter of the way down on the second third, because the eye is not a lemon, right? It's not shaped like this, where the highest point and the lowest point are directly in the middle. Okay. If we go up to the first third is the highest point, and then drops down to the other side. So the highest point is on the first third, about halfway between the eye line and the eyebrow line. Then you've got this little tear gland, and then it's going to drop so that the lowest point is on the second third. Okay. Now, right in the middle, we're going to have this little cross, and that's going to be where the pupil would be. We're going to turn this into a kind of a little Pac-Man. And if I color in 3 sides of that and leave that little wedge, like a kind of little open mouth of a Pac-Man, then that's going to indicate where the light is hitting the eye. Now, very important that the iris, which is around the eye, is really kind of circular around the side of the side of the pupil. Okay. We shade in little lines going in towards the center. And no doubt the teacher who is covering this lesson will be able to pause this presentation so that it'll give you a chance to kind of like catch up. And I'll just kind of keep going with the drawing and let you kind of get on with that. Okay. So that's kind of how we want the eye to look. You might want to kind of end up putting in some eyelashes later on, but that's all kind of detail. And if you do, then they're always kind of like centering out, kind of radial from the center. So let's kind of like just sketch that in over here. Turn the symmetry function on again. So we've got our thirds. We've got halfway up to the eyebrow line and kind of quarter of the way down. So we've got our eyes. Ooh, it's a bit high there. The tear gland. Coming down. Okay, so something like that. So now, next part of the face we're going to draw is the mouth. So halfway between the nose, I'm just going to move that up a little bit because it didn't quite look kind of central. Halfway between the mouth and the nose is a little kind of V shape. Right? Now, the width of the mouth is like 2 noses, so it's a nose on either side. So you want that kind of 2.5 centimeters on either side, and if you just bring a line kind of across where that kind of halfway of that mouth is, the edge of the mouth can line up perfectly with the eye. Remember, this is just a kind of a standard, kind of generic face. Not everybody looks like this, but it just gives us something kind of general to aim at. Now, once you've got the little V shape which rises off the line, which is in the middle of the mouth, you can then bring that down to the sides of the mouth and put in like a little dimple like that. You want to echo the same shape above. And now this line, very important, doesn't come all the way to the end. You're going to just bring it about 3/4 of the way down. Okay. Bottom lip, just a little indication that it's there. You don't need to draw it all the way up, and that's enough. Okay. Now, the measurement from the bottom of the bottom lip to where the eyes are, out to the side, will give you the side of the head. Okay. Now, we want to use our natural curve making machine on the end of your arm called your wrist. Give a little kind of flattish area for the chin, and then we're going to bring that line down to where the chin is. I'm having difficulty drawing this line on this drawing board. Okay. And there is some pieces, so we've got the kind of cleanest line possible. Now, this is where it gets kind of funny, because remember that we said that the top of the head was way up here, and then halfway down was the eyebrows, and halfway again was the nose, halfway again was the bottom lip. Well, with some people, the eyebrows are in the middle of the head. With some people, it's the eyes, and with most of us, it's somewhere in between. So, having the halfway, and halfway again just makes it easier to kind of do all the measurements. We can now say, well, we don't want the head to be way up there because it kind of look like some alien egghead. We're going to bring the top of the head down just a little bit, depending. So if it was in there, if the eyes were in the middle, then we'd want to be taking it up here somewhere. So I'm going to bring this line right up, and then it's going to start to curve over. Right? We do not want to have cone head, so be very careful that it's really kind of like a semicircle at the top. Now he still looks like a really kind of strange looking egghead person, but we're going to put in the hair very shortly, and then it will look okay. So check this now on your own face. If you bring a line, if you just touch the bottom of your nose and take it across the side of your face, you're going to find the bottom of the ear. And if you take a line from the eye across to the side of the face, then you're going to find where the ear leaves the head, and the line from the eyebrow up across gives you the top of the ear. So the ear is leaving the head here, goes up to the eyebrow line, and down to where the nose is. And there's like this little kind of bump in the middle, and you've got your ears in there. Now, you can check this as well. Halfway on your ear is where you have the start of the hair. We're going to bring that up, almost kind of in a straight line up, and then it's going to come halfway where the eyebrow lines are, and onto halfway between the top of the head and the eyebrow line is going to give you the hairline, a rough kind of hairline. Okay. Now, at the moment, it's really looking like a guy. We can feminize this drawing really easily by changing the hair, for one thing, and the other thing is the thickness of the neck. Now, if you put your hand underneath where your ear is, then you're going to find that's where the neck is coming out. So on a guy, the neck is going to be a little bit kind of thicker, it can be coming down underneath the ear like this. And if you are of the female persuasion, then the line is going to be, the neck is going to be a little bit further in, a little bit thinner. You might be saying that still doesn't look like a girl, but if we change onto, maybe try this marker here and start over on that. Let's just go back. Okay, this symmetry function when we're trying to do a hairstyle. Remember, this line here is just the hairline, not the hairstyle. So I can decide, right, this is where I want the parting to be, and I can bring some hair down. Let's change the size of that. Let's try to change the size of that one. Let's try to brush something. Okay, bear with me. So, cheap. If I can just work out how to increase the size of this, yeah, there we go. That's what we want to do. Okay, some patience. Now we can kind of get that style in a little bit. Starting to look a little bit kind of girlish now. Take a pencil back again, slightly kind of like from the neck, maybe slightly kind of going to the chin also. Okay, so let's So once you've got to this kind of stage where you've got the hairline in there, these bits, then you can pretty much kind of like choose your own hairstyle. If you wanted on this occasion to give yourself the Mohican that you've never been allowed to have, then you could do that. And you can kind of be creative with the hair. I'll just draw back in the So that is pretty much how you go about drawing the face. I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing the drawings when I get back into school.